Welcome to Life Preparations with Dorcas, and I'm here to invite you for a program tagged Children's Prayer Team 2025, where the children will be praying by themselves and for themselves. The date is 1st of February 2025 and the time is 9 a.m. The venue is Christian Teaching Center, plot 126 off Balakuna Street, after the Kado Market Life Camp Extension, Abuja, Nigeria. It will also be streaming on YouTube at Life Preparations with Dorcas and on Facebook at Life Preparations. We invite all parents to be there and to stay to the end of the program so that you can be an encouragement to your children while they pray. Also, all parents in waiting, uncles, aunties, as far as you have children around you, please come. Let's put hands together and pray. See you there. Hi, and welcome to Life Preparations with Dorcas. Today we'll be discussing how to close a season or how to close a year. Now, I know that it's very easy for us to always rush off to start a new season. We want the new things that are to come. Fantastic. It's very good. But remember, the Bible that I read tells me in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 8a, that better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So, it's always good to have new things happen, but it's also good that we end one thing and end it properly, and then we start off nicely on the new thing we are going to start. Remember where it talks about in Isaiah that we should forget about the old things because it's going to do new things. Yes, God always is doing new things, but in the old things, there are some things that must be taken care of. If not, if you allow them, they will get into your future and mess you up. Do you really want to have that in your new year or in your new season or your new phase of life? I don't think so. So, today, the first step we're going to be talking about on how to ensure that we end and close our season properly is first to pray. If we take a cue from Jesus, Jesus always took out time to pray. He would wake up early, he would pray. So take out time from all the noise, from everything that is happening around you, to just seek the face of God and just pray. You can, if you have children and it's a little bit tough, you can use your bathing time to pray. You can use your cooking time to pray. By all means, pray. If you need to go to a mountain to pray, you need to go, just find somewhere, but just pray. I mean, earnest prayer. Pray from the depth of your heart. Table everything before God. But most importantly, you need to thank Him for thus far He has brought you. Because if it were by your own strength, maybe you would have been gone by now. So remember, in your prayers, thanksgiving should form a major part of your prayer, to say, thank God, thank you, Lord, for causing this to work this way. And let me tell you, sometimes your thanksgiving may not be because everything worked. It may be because something didn't work. But you should also thank God because it did not work. Just, you never can tell what would have happened. So thank God for what worked and what did not work. And then commit the new season you're about to enter, or the new phase you're about to enter, into God's hands. And the next thing is you practice guided reflection. Reflection on how the year went, how that phase of your life went, how that season went. How was it? And you need to journal it. Journal it. Take out your time. Now, you're going to be asking yourself serious questions. And you need to be what? Very honest. Be very honest, brutally honest with yourself. How did you do? Look at certain areas of your life. Look at your finances. Look at your emotional well-being. Look at your family, your business, your career, your personal development, your health. Finances, how did you do? Take out time to think about all these things. Did you do well? If you did well in this area, what were the things that made you do well? You write them down. If you didn't do well, what were the things that made you fall short? And then, it's easier for you to work on it so that by the time you get into the next phase, it's not going to affect you. Do we understand? I hope this is clear enough. Because if you're able to do this, it means you're able to jump over some traps that may be waiting for you in your next phase or in your next year. And don't forget, when you write things down, you don't forget. So if at that point you're doing this, your physical journal is not there, A lot of phones these days come with notes, so you can actually write notes on your phone or on your computer, or on Google Sheets and all of that, and later on work on that. Now, the next thing is to get external feedback. External feedback is asking for feedback from people around you. I mean, credible people that have worked with you. So you don't just meet a stranger. He doesn't know you. He has not worked with you before. He has not had any projects you guys have worked on together. Nothing. So you ask people you have worked with within the year, or within that last season, or within the last phase. Or if you guys went on, if it was a project and you're trying to close out the project, you take out time to get feedback. How was it? So if you are a family person, of course, you can get feedback from your children if you have, or your sibling, your spouse, your leaders. If you're a boss and you have people you have employed, you can get feedback from them. All those things will now help you to know how far you have fared. And you can also ask your leaders. Sometimes they're able to give you good judgments, sound judgments, and so a lot of the times, if you work with those, it helps you get better as you go on to your next phase of life. So it's important that you do that. Now, the next is to give thanks to God for all things. You give thanks to God for all things. For what worked, for what didn't work, for the expectations that were met, for the expectations that were not met. Whatever it was that didn't work, you thank God for it. And whatever worked, you still thank God for it. And then you thank God for the new season you are about to step into. Do you know why you should thank him? Because he has already gone into that year before you. He has already gone into that season, into that phase of life before you. So thank him, because he knows the way through the wilderness, and all you have to do is to follow. So your thanksgiving actually has a way of positioning you to just follow him for his guidance in that new year or in the new phase. Now, the next is to document and report, in report writing, all that you have, been able to accomplish, and all that you were not able to accomplish. Now you will write everything in detail. I try to do that. So for me, to avoid doing it at the end of the year, I try to do monthly. When I fail in monthly, I try to do quarterly. Because again, when I sit down to look at the quarterly, it helps me. Because if you try to do it at the end of the year, sometimes if you are not writing, you may lose out on some details, right? So I've tried, part of my plan is try to be disciplined so I can actually do it on a weekly basis. So when I come, I check at the end of the week. It's easy for me. But if you are good and you can remember everything, fantastic, and you feel you don't want to document and journal from the beginning of that season or the beginning of the year, it's still okay. But just make sure that you write all those, because what that will do for you is that it's going to help you in your decision making. If there were things that didn't go well on this side, it means as you're moving to this side, you should work on them to make better decisions, right? If there were informations you didn't know while you were on this side, as you move on to this side, it means that you'll be able to make better and sound decisions, because now you have better and more information, so your decisions will be better informed, right? You make better decisions. Now, the next is that you forgive and you reconcile. What that does to you is that it clears you, frees your mind of all the trash, of the baggage you have carried emotionally and all of that. Do you know what? Let it go. Let it go. A lot of times, carrying unforgiveness, carrying bitterness, hatred, anger, and all of those, their cousins, have a way of pulling you down, of delaying you. You don't need that delay. You are moving on. Forget the things that have happened in the past. Let's move on. If you need to do a physical reconciliation, do. If you need to do it virtually, do. You are not doing it for that person. You are doing it for yourself. Don't let anybody live rent-free in your heart and you are now taking poison and expecting the person to die. No, the person is going to have a swell time in 2025, and you are there wishing the person dies. No, he won't die. Maybe the person didn't even know you offended, so let go. And if there are some that the relationship can be restored, why not restore? If there are relationships that maybe cannot be restored, even at that, you should still forgive. Okay? Now, hi, welcome to Life Preparations with Dorcas, and I'm here to invite you for a program tagged Children's Prayer Team 2025, where the children will be praying by themselves and for themselves. The date is 1st of February 2025, and the time is 9 a.m. The venue is Christian Teaching Center, plot 126 off Balakuna Street, after the Kado Market Life Camp Extension, Abuja, Nigeria. It will also be streaming on YouTube at Life Preparations with Dorcas, and on Facebook at Life Preparations. We invite all parents to be there and to stay to the end of the program so that it can be an encouragement to your children while they pray. Also, all parents in waiting, uncles, aunties, as far as you have children around you, please come. Let's put hands together and pray. See you there. The next thing to do is that you write extensively all the ideas that come to your mind. A lot, as you pray, as you thank God, as you think, a lot of ideas are going to be coming to your mind. Write them down. It must not be according to how you're going to execute them. Just write them down. I'm doing the same thing. I'm telling you what I'm doing. As the ideas come, I write them. Sometimes I don't have the full details of how it will be executed, or how it will be done, or why I'm even doing it, but as the idea just drops in my spirit, immediately I pen it down. Some I use my notes on my phone and just drop it and put the date and say this idea is for XYZ, like this. So when I'm going through my notes at the end of the week, sometimes at the end of the day, I put all those things together, and at the end of the day, within the year, you know, as I pray, as I think, as I talk with people, somebody may just say something that will not resonate with what idea I have written. And at the end of the day, you know what? I put it together, and okay, I now begin to connect the dots. Sometimes it's even as the year gets to the middle that I'm able to connect the dots. So write all the ideas, as foolish as they may sound, as big as they may sound. Write it. Keep on writing, you know. And as the year goes by, as you pray, you know, and as the season unfolds, you're going to be finding ways to execute them, what to do with them, whether you're executing or you are sharing it with someone to execute, and all of that. All those things will take shape later on. But all you have to do, write. Remember, the Bible says you should write the vision down. Let's make it plain that he may run that readeth it. Write. All you have to do is write. I promise you, you might forget. So it has happened to me. So sometime this year, an idea came, but because I didn't write it, I forgot. But God was merciful. God was kind to me. He reminded me like 2-3 times. By the third time, I said, look, as you may receive a knock from heaven if you don't write this thing down. So don't be like me. Write, okay? Now, the next thing is to reward yourself for having passed through that season, for having passed through that year. See, if you're in Nigeria, I don't know where you're listening to me from, and you have gotten to this point in your life in this country, I need you to say a huge thank you to God and to yourself for being resilient enough, for not committing suicide, for managing and pulling through the difficult times. Yes, it has not been a rosy year for everyone, but I know so many people that have died, you know, so many things have happened to people mentally, but you're still in your state, your mental state is still correct, you're mentally fit and sound. I need you to celebrate yourself, and if you can, get yourself a gift. If you can, take yourself out, but somehow celebrate yourself. And while you are celebrating yourself, I need you to celebrate people around you, people that have helped you through the year, people that have prayed for you, people that have taught you, people that have called you. Just, It's not everybody you'll be able to buy gift for, because if you check our Christmas series, we've said make a list, and that list, it must not be everybody. You can buy for some this year, buy for some next year, and all of that. But I'm saying you can at least write a thank you note. If you cannot write a thank you note, you can send a thank you WhatsApp message, an email to say thank you. Whatever way you can say thank you, find a way. If you can give cash, I know people will highly appreciate cash. Please give cash. People would love it. Just a way of saying thank you. Because for myself and my husband, who have also done the same thing for the people that have helped us throughout the year, it may not be so big, but the fact that you gave, the person feels appreciated. So do that for yourself and the people around you. All right. Have you enjoyed this so far? I need you to write in the comment section, so far, what have you been able to do? What have you been able to do regarding closing your year? Because I know a lot of us get to start early. So for me, I started a lot of these from September, October, November, and now we're in December. So it's just for me to sum it all up. So let me know in the comment section, how far have you gone with closing your year? Because I'm actually closing a year, but I have a season that is completely opened in my life. So that season is not closed, but this particular year for me, 2025, is already rounding off. Okay, so the fact that a year is ending does not necessarily mean that a particular season in your life is ending. All right, so I need you to call people that are also ending the year like you and me to watch this video, and please, I need you to share. Now the next thing is to create a growth profile for yourself. Truly, if you remember the story of the children of Israel, it got to a point that God had to tell them, guys, you need to move forward. You have stayed at this mountain for so long. Go forward. So you have to create a going forward situation for yourself, a going forward profile for yourself. And a lot of the times going forward would involve growth. And now I need you to know that growth is never convenient. It is never comfortable. Ask the butterfly. So I remember the life cycle of the butterfly that my teacher taught me in secondary school biology. And I remember that there's a time, is it larva or pupa now, one of them has to break out, of the cocoon of that shell, so that its wings can grow, and then it can now fly and have those beautiful colors that we all admire. So it's important that you know that growth will not always be comfortable, but you have to look at your life and say, I need to grow. So create a profile, highlight the ones you have grown in already, and pat yourself on the back, and make sure that you have a sustainability plan for the areas that you have succeeded already. Now, on the areas that you need to grow and do better, it also means that you're going to have another plan to say, I didn't do well in this area and I want to do better. So come up with a plan. Let's say if in your finances you didn't do well, like me, I already have my plans on what I'm going to do. Do you need to do a standing order for certain things? Do you need to cut down on some certain things? Do you need to do this? And then do I need to apply wisdom in certain areas? For me, I have my plans. I have wisdom I'm going to apply. I have some strategies I've kept in place. So for you, pick out the areas, different areas of your life which I've mentioned earlier. Write them and say, these areas I've done well, and here is my plan to sustain them. These ones I didn't do so well, so I will have to do X, Y, Z. And let me tell you, you must not put 10 things to do to grow. If this year you're going to focus on maybe your spiritual life and your health and your family, 3 things, focus on them. It does not mean that other things should take the back burner, but it means that your priority will be on these 3. More of your energy will be on the 3 or on the 4 you've picked, so that these other ones can just be supporting, and then it does not stress you, especially if you have growing family, growing career, and all of that. Okay, now the next thing is to make a declaration for yourself. A declaration that I'm going to get better. a declaration that I'm going to get transformed, a declaration that I will grow, and then make sure you write it. I'm still in the process of writing my own. Look at your life and say, this is where I am and this is where I want to go to. Now, for me, I'm not really focusing on physical things. I'm focusing on the person I want to become. Okay? So for example, I want to become more focused. Yes. Personally, I want to become more focused. So because of that, I'm already looking at strategies that will help me to be more focused. So for you, it can be a different thing. Maybe you want to work on your finances. You want to, for me, I'm working on character. I'm working on my becoming, So it may be different things to different people. I want to have more empathy, because for me, empathy is going to be what will help me to sustain impact. So look at your life. Think about it. What can you do that will help you to grow? And then write that declaration down and make sure that you take out your time every single day to go over it. Or if you can't do it daily, you can do weekly, or bi-weekly, just to see that you remain on track. So if you have stayed to this point, I need you to share this video with your friends and your loved ones. Don't forget to subscribe. If you've not even subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Whoa. Let me tell you, what is waiting for you in the next year, 2025, is going to blow your mind on this channel. So call everyone, let them learn what you're learning, and let them close the year in a fantastic way. Remember, there are lessons that will have to go with you into the new year. And when I talked about forgiving yourself, you are also going to forgive people around you. Not just people around you, forgive, because there are opportunities you might have missed because of your mistake, or because you were slow, or because you were lazy, or something. So you're also going to forgive yourself. Okay? So thank you for sticking around, and I would love to see in the comment section how far and how well you are doing in closing your year 2024 and in planning your 2025. Stick around, there will be more videos for your 2025. The strategies are going to be mind-blowing. Thank you for watching.